about Brian Ferentz, Iowa, and the contract that we were all put on game with on Monday afternoon? So the landscape on this one is pretty clear. Iowa's football team managed to win 7 games and was there at the end competing for a spot in the Big Ten championship, basically without an offense and basically without a quarterback, which is wild. On the one hand, Phil Parker needs to be the highest paid coordinator in all of football, defensive coordinator at Iowa, because for the last 5 years, his defense has been elite and awesome. They have a Butkus Award winner last year. My goodness. Riley Moss, one of the better cornerbacks, defensive backs, I should say, in all of football, right? And that's before many people will tell you that Cooper DeJean would be their pick for the best DB of that group in 2022. But that also meant that everybody was pointing at Kirk Ferentz's kid, Brian Ferentz, and what his offense was incapable of doing, moving the football and scoring points. So we were all kind of taken aback when the University of Iowa football program told us all that they had amended Brian Ferentz's contract. So the amendments for Brian Ferentz go like this. It is incentive-based now in 2023. He was making $900,000 a year. Now he's making $850,000 a year. But if the Hawkeyes score 25 points or more and win 7 games in 2023, he'll get a bonus of $112,500 for averaging 25 points per game and winning 7. Okay, so 7 is Iowa ought to win 7 football games. Let's put it there. Iowa has been consistently one of the better Big Ten teams in the sport that we just don't talk about, right? I think Minnesota also is in this conversation. They're just good. But given the right offense, they could be great, all right? And I'm going to talk about why that is and who that could be that leads them there here in a second. But I need to underscore what 25 points per game means in college football. First, know that Nick Saban feels comfortable putting the offense in the hands of a 30-year-old, but needs the defense to be in the hands of a 60-year-old, which is to say that offense is easier to coach. I would be an offensive coordinator. I was a quarterback. I don't want to call defense because I need big, fast, scary dudes on defense that also have to react to what the offense is doing every single snap. Offense, I get to design what I want to do, and I get to be cool like Kyle Shanahan, all right? Now, there were last year 85 teams that averaged 25 points or more a game out of 131. The Hawkeyes averaged, can't believe this, 17.69 points per game in 2022. They ranked 123rd out of 131 teams in scoring offense. I dare you to find a team that wins 7 games with an offense that is so putrid that it ranks 8th from the bottom. Okay, so there's that. Now add to this that it was at midseason when most Hawkeye fans were like, get Brian Ferentz out of here. Get him out of the booth, hand the play calling privileges to somebody else. Kirk, you got to let your guy go. I know he's your son, but you got to let him go. And Kirk Ferentz was not going to do that. And has telegraphed as much by saying, not only is he coming back, we have, heard you, and we're going to make this incentive based to a degree. It also feels like, yeah, you're just going to be stuck with Brian Ferentz for some time if you are an Iowa Hawkeye fan. Okay, so there's also the point to add here that is a cool detail coming from Richard Johnson at SI that an Iowa spokesperson tells SI that the points per game benchmark includes any points scored. And remember, Iowa scored 6 defensive touchdowns and 2 safeties last season. So that's going to count toward the tally for the offense when it comes to Brian Ferentz's 25 point per game tally. Again, my thought on this was I would hope that if my father was my boss, that I would get this kind of, we'll wait on it. We'll give you some time. You need to get better, but we'll give it some time. We won't fire you outright. If you're an Iowa fan, though, this is probably wanting to make you pull your hair out. And that's where I want to go with this. I understand. I get it. You are an Iowa Hawkeye. You are very proud of your tradition. You remember Hayden Fry and that 83 staff. That was amazing. You have great affinity for Bob Stoops. You can look up and see some great players in the NFL that played Iowa football. You get to claim Big E, which is one of the coolest things in the world because Big E is an amazing WWE superstar. He played Iowa football, even played for Ferentz. But as it stands today, this is what you have, and this is what you're going to have, at least in 2023. You have been outstanding defensively, and you have been thrilled at times with how your defense has played, and you have continued to scratch out your eyes when you see Alex Padilla throw a pick or Spencer Petras throw a pick, or you see that Brian Ferentz's offense is, shall we say, not innovative. I am going to tell you that, hey, man, you're not going to get any smoke from me. I know what you got to work with. I understand that it's your team, and there's nothing you can do about that. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I keep saying that, right? I keep saying that because sometimes I feel it's a pyramid scheme. Sometimes I feel like, no. This only works if I get more people involved that share my angst and share my emotional anxiety and my anger. When Dak Prescott can go and finish the GOAT's career with a loss, a resounding loss on what is essentially Monday Night Football, but can't beat the doggone 49ers to save his life in a divisional round. Just can't happen. Okay? I get it. I am, however, very interested to see if Cade McNamara can save us both. Cade McNamara wasn't amazing at Michigan, but he was good enough for the offense to function, and the offense to function well enough to win a Big Ten championship, to beat Ohio State, and to make the college football playoff. He also is a fiery competitor. He is the guy who almost immediately after letting everybody know that he was grad transferring to Iowa said, please keep calling it the worst offense in the world. As if we were somehow saying something that wasn't factual. As if we were somehow saying something that isn't true. Now, Cade, if you are the dude to go and flip it. I'm here for it. I would love to see Cade McNamara make Iowa great again. I would love to see Cade McNamara be the dude who is basically taking your slogan off of a billboard for whomever's running for political offense and putting that on his forehead. Because he also speaks your language. He is hard-nosed. He wants to bloody everybody else's face. He wants his own face bloody. He wants to make it into a fist fight. And my goodness, if Iowa doesn't want to make everything into a fist fight, I don't know what college football is. I think that dude is good enough to complete the passes that others could not, and good enough to get them in plays and out of plays to make the offense just not look bad. Because if Cade McNamara is just above average, we're talking about a 9-win team, maybe a team that plays in the Big Ten championship game, and maybe a guy that can get Iowa over the hump that, frankly, Michigan couldn't get over the hump until he was their quarterback. So that is where your faith should go, and that is where my faith is going for 2023 Iowa offense. It ain't Brian Ferentz's contract, which I feel like we're going to talk about it because we got to talk about it, but it is going to Cade McNamara, who knows how to win, is a winner, and fits your culture. That's a very good place to be, especially knowing that Phil Parker's still your defensive coordinator. So it's going to be okay, I think. But if you are mad, be mad. Send me all your angry tweets about what the offense is doing and know that I am receiving them and I'm nodding along, okay? That's something I rarely get to say out loud. I feel you. I understand you. I'm not going to tell you to calm down. I'm going to tell you to vent your anger in my direction, because venting it at the football team just ain't going to work. It's ain't going to work. They're going to do what they're going to do. Ask Jerry Jones. Thank you for watching the #1 college football show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you don't miss any of the best college football coverage in America.